Oh my gosh, I just found one of the biggest surprise cameos we could see in Star Wars Outlaws, and after the game director confirmed that there's cameos for old and new Star Wars fans alike, this cameo would blow everyone's minds. Here are 5 huge Star Wars Outlaws cameos I'm expecting to see in game. Yo, this your boy James over XpectoGO, bringing you fun and positive gaming content. Let's start with the biggest surprise cameo I'm expecting, which is the Knights of Ren. First seen in Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens, which took place 30 plus years after the events of Star Wars Outlaws, the Knights of Ren are a sect of masked dark side warriors that follow the ways of Ren, a religious philosophy epitomized by the lightsaber. Many Star Wars fans don't know and will be surprised to find out that they existed during the time period of Star Wars Outlaws. The original leader during this time period was a warrior known by the name of Ren, eventually killed by Ben Solo years later, who would then adopt the name Kylo Ren. Now, why we should see the Knights of Ren in Star Wars Outlaws is very simple. Based on the Marvel comic Star Wars Hidden Empire or Crimson Reign, it is at this time period that the Knights of Ren became allied with Lady Qi'ra, the head of Crimson Dawn, a confirmed character and syndicate in Star Wars Outlaws. The Knights supported her goal of reshaping the power structure of the galaxy by overthrowing Darth Sidious, aka the Emperor. Now, in Star Wars Outlaws, the reputation system allows us, the player, playing as Kay Vess, to work closely with a variety of syndicates like the Crimson Dawn, narratively giving us the opportunity to possibly see Qi'ra working directly with the Knights of Ren based on Star Wars canons on their territories. And with Star Wars Outlaws game director again saying that there are cameos for old heads and new head Star Wars fans, the Knights of Ren fit perfectly as a cameo for new heads that we all can enjoy. Another cameo that new heads will enjoy and now confirmed is that of Lady Qi'ra. Confirmed in the new Star Wars Outlaws Story trailer, Lady Qi'ra is now the head of the Crimson Dawn after taking over for Darth Maul, seen in the movie Star Wars A Solo Story, played by the lovely Emilia Clarke. It is during this time period that Qi'ra is creating conflict between the Hutts and specifically the Empire, both confirmed syndicates and parties we as Kay Vess will be encountering and having to deal with on our journey in Star Wars Outlaws. Referencing again the Marvel comic Star Wars Hidden Empire or Crimson Reign, essentially with help from the Knights of Ren, Qi'ra upends the entire criminal underworld while also showing the galaxy that the Empire isn't invincible. As such, the unintended benefit was that it kept the Empire distracted long enough that the rebellion was able to reform its fleet leading into the events of Return of the Jedi. With the confirmed cameo of Qi'ra in Star Wars Outlaws, if Massive Entertainment also includes Easter eggs that point to the events of the Crimson Dawn's trilogy, that narratively would be a huge tie-in to the endgame events and Star Wars canon overall, possibly making Star Wars Outlaws canon, making the game that much more immersive in my opinion. Speaking of my opinion, in my opinion, the coolest Star Wars character of all is a cameo us old head fans would definitely love to see: Lando Calrissian. Played famously by Billy D. Williams and recently by Donald Glover, aka Childish Gambino. Lando is a cameo we definitely will see in Star Wars Outlaws. I'm calling it. Since the game is set between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, we know based off of those movies that Lando is working with Luke, Leia, and Chewie on rescuing Han from Jabba the Hutt. And based on the Star Wars Outlaws trailers and and DLC summary, we as Kay Vess will be spending a good amount of time with Jabba on Tatooine and even see Han trapped in carbonite. According to the comics leading up to Return of the Jedi, Lando eventually infiltrates Jabba the Hutt's palace on Tatooine, disguising himself as a new skiff guard for the palace. To help keep his face hidden, Lando keeps his helmet on and its grill up. This is the perfect Easter egg and cameo for us long-time Star Wars fans playing Star Wars Outlaws. And if you plan on playing Star Wars Outlaws like myself, be sure to subscribe and hit the like button on this video. It greatly helps, and there's a ton of more content for Star Wars Outlaws coming very soon. Maz Kanata, like the Knights of Ren, was first seen in Star Wars Episode 7 The Force Awakens, and like the Knights of Ren, had a role in this time period that Star Wars Outlaws takes place, which again, Star Wars fans might not know based on the comics, which is why, based on canon, we could have a small but important cameo with her character. It is during this time that Maz Kanata had the reputation as the Pirate Queen, giving credits, equipment, and connections to young smugglers like ourselves as Kay Vess in Star Wars Outlaws. Maz had control and influence over thousands of ports across the galaxy, eventually helping Chewbacca, Lando, Leia to infiltrate into Jabba's palace, again to rescue Han Solo from Jabba the Hutt. Now, as likely as we are to encounter Maz Kanata in Star Wars Outlaws based on lore, I see Maz's cameo or Easter egg being something of a reference only and not so much an in-person encounter with Kay Vess. Granted, I hope I'm wrong. Another cameo I'm not expecting much from, but I am expecting to encounter is the 5th and final Star Wars Outlaws cameo, that of Luke Skywalker himself. Now, this is based on Star Wars Legends, Shadows of the Empire. With the likelihood being low, we still could cross paths with Skywalker on the planet Tatooine, more specifically, Mos Eisley, a confirmed and in-game location shown in the Star Wars Outlaws trailers. It is during this time period that Luke with Chewie, Lando, and Leia are planning Han's rescue from Jabba's palace. It is also during this time that he is constructing, for the very first time, his legendary green lightsaber. According to lore, he got the guide from Obi-Wan's hut and went to Mos Eisley for parts. Now, I think the cameo would simply consist of us as Kay Vess walking simply past Luke in Mos Eisley as he's shopping for parts for his newly constructed lightsaber. A quick blink and you'll miss it type cameo, which honestly is all I'll need since Luke is such a big deal in the Star Wars lore, possibly even taken away from Kay Vess's story. So I'm expecting again Luke's cameo still to be shown, but very little. That being said, with 2 of these cameos, albeit confirmed, Star Wars Outlaws looks to have a ton of oh my gosh moments, not just from the cameos or Easter eggs either. What other cameos do you think we'll be getting in Star Wars Outlaws when it drops August 30th? Comment below, let me know. And let's talk more Star Wars Outlaws. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video and hanging out with your boy. If you enjoyed it, be sure to check out the video to your right for more Star Wars Outlaws content. I also want to thank the Patronus Squad. None of this is possible without them, specifically Jerry and Ethan. I'll see you guys in the next video. Until next time.